What have you learned so far about what exactly went down at that hospital?
On one hand, we are facing oxygen shortage. The tragedy struck in Nashik, where a municipal corporation run hospital having a bed capacity of 150 patient faced a tragedy after a oxygen supply was interrupted. As the ventilators require a particular level of oxygen supply, constant flow, the interruption in oxygen supply after the leakage at the oxygen at the storage cylinder that disrupted the supply, and the supply level dropped. It led to the death of 22 patients. 15 on them were on ventilator. The rest of them were critical, but on O2 support, oxygen support. Now, the state government has, of course, ordered an inquiry. We'll know who is at fault, who is not at fault.
When you spoke to the district collector, to the hospital authorities, Yogesh, what was coming? I mean, is this a case of was it an accident, or it's just sheer criminal negligence? I mean, I'm sure the inquiry will reveal all details later. But what are they saying prima facie right now?
Right. So, based on what Maharashtra's Health Minister Rajesh Tope has said, the responsibility of maintaining the oxygen supply was with a private firm based in Chakan in Pune district. They had come to refill the jumbo cylinder there. When they were actually refilling that cylinder, they spotted an oxygen leakage that was exactly at the socket. Now, whether it was a negligence or a workman fault, because a few days back there was a repair work carried out there, is what the authorities were saying, and Tope also said it will only the high-level inquiry ordered by Chief Minister that will establish whether it was a negligence or a workman's fault. But yes, there was some technical issue there. The leakage led to the drop in a supply, which eventually resulted into the death of 22 people.
From the preliminary information that is available, of course, I mean, the full inquiry will reveal the entire details. But there was some kind of a stopcock mechanism which needs to be checked at regular intervals, because you got to understand that this liquid oxygen leads to freezing of the pipes. So there is a little bit of wear and tear involved, when these stopcocks or junctions in these pipes are concerned. So it calls for a daily maintenance where one has to, pour water over that area and make sure that there are no leakages there. So what probably happened, was that stopcock mechanism was malfunctioning, and that did not come to the notice of people at the time when the liquid oxygen was being actually loaded from the tank into the liquid oxygen, storage facility at the hospital. And that's probably which led to this massive leak of oxygen, and consequently, the drop in oxygen supply to the entire hospital and, to each of the individual patients.
All right, that's so basically what you're saying, that this could the blame for this could lie at the doors of the supply company, the oxygen supplier in this case.
I'm not so sure whether it is the oxygen supplier who's responsible for the infrastructure within the hospital. I mean, this is not something in terms of maintenance where the supplier is responsible. I would think that it is the hospital maintenance department that looks at all these kind of infrastructural needs and making sure that everything is in place and free from any kind of wear and tear. So I would think it is more related to the hospital administration and maintenance rather than the vendor themselves.
These accidents are bound to happen. These accidents used to happen in Australia also when I used to work. But everything works with a backup facility. For an example, my ventilator fails. We usually use imported ventilator. That is our hospital policy. But machine is a machine. If it fails, what we used to do, we used to bag that patient. There used to be an UPS system to that ventilator. Even if that UPS fails, we used to bag that patient. I never heard of patient dying because of some equipment failure in my hospital, because we have got a maintenance system. Why the maintenance system and backup system was not there? These accidents are going to happen. What will happen? They will blacklist that importer or that maintenance officer, and within 10 days everybody will forget, and you will air this program, you will have good number of viewership, and you will also forget. That is happening all over past 24 years. What I am looking at, the day these buggers will start visiting private hospitals, government hospital, and they start treating, the things will improve.